Getting drunk on Purim. Question which comes up every single year at this time. We celebrate Purim next week. How could it possibly be that we are instructed to get drunk on Purim, to get wasted, to get smashed? It goes beyond the values, our system of always being in control of ourselves and behaving and doing the mitzvot. So how could the Talmud say that on Purim it's a mitzvah to get so drunk that we don't know the difference between Haman and Mordechai, the villain and the hero? I mean, that's absurd that you could get so blind drunk that you don't know the difference. And of course, there's lots of explanations to answer this question. But primarily, firstly, to say that we shouldn't get smashed on Purim. It's not an excuse. Do not use this line to get yourself wasted. Those underage, of course, not to drink. And if you are at the age of drinking, make sure you do so responsibly and don't drink and drive. But the Talmud is telling us, I think, something fundamental and perhaps so relevant at a time like this, a time when so many of us are living in fear. You know, the coronavirus has sent shockwaves through the community, through the world. We had the bushfires not too long ago. And of course, in our own personal lives, there's always things which make us scared, which make us feel vulnerable, which make us question our own safety. And therefore, says the Talmud on Purim, what is the story of Purim? The story of Purim is really a story of where if you looked at it at the time, you would have lived in perhaps fear, you would have been scared, you would have felt that perhaps God has abandoned me. But we read the story every year to remind us that God was very much there. They were not just coincidences that led to the saving of the Jewish people. God was very much involved over there. And therefore, the story of Purim is telling us that on Purim, we have to get so drunk, meaning just like when somebody drinks, they feel relaxed. They don't, the weight of the world is off their shoulders, which unfortunately leads to a lot of people getting addicted to it and wanting to drown their sorrows. But that feeling of, you know what, I don't have that burden anymore, is the feeling we need to get on Purim. And how do we get that feeling? By placing our trust in something higher than ourselves. By saying, God, you know what, the world at this point seems very scary. We can't see your involvement. And sometimes we don't even understand, people are suffering. There are people hurting, there are people dying. And so it does take a lot of faith to put our trust, to shift that weight and say, God, I'm putting the weight on your shoulders. Are you strong enough to carry it all? Of course. And we want to sit back and relax. We want to, in a sense, be drunk from the fear. We don't want to have drunk so we don't experience the fear. So this Purim, let's push that anxiety, let's push that fear onto God and say, you know what, God, just like in the story of Purim, you took care of business. We're going to put our trust and faith in you that you will do it once again. So wishing you a freilich Purim, a happy and healthy Purim. Let's celebrate together and hopefully we get to experience a revealed good. And God, please, God will bless us with only blessings. Wishing you a Shabbat Shalom and a wonderful weekend ahead.